Today I'm heading out with my Fuji FinePix X100 to photograph one of the oldest schools in Korea. Actually, it could be the oldest, considering it's one of the last remaining traditional Confucian schools in Seoul and was built about 600 years ago. This is part of an ongoing project I'm doing capturing traditional Korean buildings and how they fit into Seoul's chaotic modern landscape. The goal today is to nail one of those elusive portfolio shots, but to be completely honest with you, these buildings are always extremely tough for me to shoot. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a little bit too cramped in there for me, but it's always really easy to get unwanted elements in the frame, stuff like trash cans, signs, and I'll be shooting it with the Fuji FinePix X100, a camera that is 15 years old this year actually. Now it's only a 12 megapixel CMOS sensor, so I have very little leeway when it comes to cropping, and that really means I have to nail my framing. Wow. And since the back screen has about as much resolution as a Game Boy Color, I won't be able to tell how the shots turn out before I get them on my computer at home. I guess shooting the original X100 really is like film. Now, if you're an aspiring photographer or involved in any creative pursuit really, you better get comfortable with the Pareto distribution. You may know this as the 80-20 principle. In short, it means that of all the photos you take, you'll only consider a small number of those good, and you only ever have a few that you consider outstanding. That's just how things work. I took 279 images on the shoot, but only consider about 20 to be keepers, the ones I'm showing you today. And if you like any of them, you can download the full image file for free. Look for a link to that in the show notes below. Now, the first thing I want to do is set the Fuji up to capture this place as best it can. I want to do a lot of the work when I'm out here, so I have to do as little editing as possible. And the Fuji should do a masterful job capturing these pastel colors anyways. So I really want to draw that out of the camera. Now, the first thing I have to do is set up the camera. So I'm going to go down to Film Sim, and you can see it's in standard, which they call Provia. It's not really a Provia though, but this film simulation is going to help bring out the nice pastel colors of this complex. But it is a little bit desaturated, so I want to go down to color, take it off mid, and we'll go medium high. So we'll bump this up just a little bit. Now I want to go down to the highlight tone, and I want to put this into a medium soft, and that'll help with a little bit better highlight roll off. And then we'll go to shadow tone, and we'll put that into soft. So right now we have a lot of hard shadows on the building, and it's nice to capture those, but I want a little bit of detail though, so I don't want it to be, you know, just crushed to black. Okay. Uh-oh, this ain't good. Well, I got kicked out. No, not for lewd behavior. Not this time anyways. Turns out they close at 5, and I should have checked the website before I came. But that's fine. We're starting to lose light now anyways. I should have got here about an hour earlier. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow and finish off the shoot. Well, it's day 2 and I'm back and I'm wearing the same clothes. I figured changing clothes might be a little bit too jarring for you on the video, but don't worry, I'll wash them twice after this. I'm battling the clouds today though. We're just on the cusp of summer rainy season here in Korea and the sky's starting to show it. But I decided to come out today in the hopes of getting a lucky break in the cloud cover. And this is going to be the last day for at least a month. So if it's not today, then we'll have to wait until the end of summer. Now this is quite a nice view here. If I can get maybe a bit of the doorway or one of the pillars here, I can kind of frame this building. Capture a bit of the pastel roof, but try to avoid the fire equipment there at the bottom.
And a swing and a miss.
This seems like a pretty good spot. Maybe I can capture some of the writing in there as well.
I like this one a lot better. The darkness of the door and the pillar frame the building nicely, and I even like the somewhat distracting strip of light on the right edge. Seems to add a bit of artistic flair, but I'm still stuck with those damn fire extinguishers. And framing them out does not improve the composition. But look at the color and texture of this next one. Beautiful.
That's the nice thing about digital. You know, everybody's going film because I think it looks very organic, and it does, but I don't know, being able to capture multiple frames and kind of see what works without paying through the nose for film and processing cost, I don't know, there's something to be said about that. So when you get these old cameras like this FinePix X100 that I'm using, yeah, you can get a very, very appealing result. Nice organic rendering, and you can make tons of mistakes and it's not going to cost you a whole lot.
Like this.
Wow, look at these colors. That's amazing. It's always hard because you got stuff like this here in the shot. You don't want it in the shot, so you kind of have to get rid of it somehow with framing. But that's always a challenge because this stuff is literally everywhere. The light coming off the sign here, that's beautiful. So we're at the door here. We got the door, we got this really unique sign here. We got the brown, and then we got the green. So what I want to do is I want to try and capture this light brown, the dark brown, and the green in one shot, as well as the Chinese characters here. This is actually Chinese, not Korean. That's how they used to use, or that's how they used to write in Korea, using Chinese characters back in the day. So I think that would be kind of neat to capture. Let's see how it works.
I'm on the fence about this one. Maybe it's a little unbalanced.
Look at this shadow on the wall. The vines are just kind of overtaking it. And the whole thing just kind of steps up there. Very cool. Not sure how to capture this though, and I don't really want to step in there. Now Korea is crawling with poisonous snakes, or I should say venomous snakes. And when I was at one of these a couple months back, it was an old abandoned complex, and I walked up to the front door and almost stepped on a venomous snake. So yeah, pretty cautious here. Now we're on the side of a mountain, so this is kind of exactly where they would want to live. And I would not be surprised if they've made their home in here as well.
Now there's an inner school sanctuary I want to get to, but unfortunately no public access.
There's my chance.
Never mind then. I guess I'll just pretend that I'm one of the Korean dignitaries and sneak in when nobody's looking.
I like how the light is falling on that roof there. Maybe I can frame it with the roof right here and the pillar. And then on the big building here, you have some beautiful shadows that are falling on it because of the leaves on the trees and behind. You can see this here, just the light shining on the bottom here. I'm gonna try and capture this.
Forbidden fruit. Jackpot.
The nice thing here is that the light is always changing in this complex, so you have a lot of opportunities to shoot different things, shadows, and you got these nice trees in back, so you get this nice leaf foliage shadow that you can take advantage of. Quite nice. So I saw this here. We have some nice shadow from the foliage in behind me, and then we have, it's kind of bland concrete. Then we have this beautiful pastel green, these beautiful pastel yellow panels here, and of course the dark red, or is that a brown? Anyways, I think it looks nice. Maybe it'll make for a nice photo.
And this I really like. I like the play of the shadow. I like the different colors, the geometry, the texture. It's great.
These are kind of interesting here. This is the chimney. And believe it or not, 600 years ago, they had central heating in these buildings. So what they did is they lit a fire down below there, and the hot air would travel through this stonework and underneath the floor, and the whole thing would be heated. Pretty incredible to think about that now. 600 years ago, I don't know, what were we doing in North America 600 years ago? Living in wood huts, hoping we didn't die from starvation. Absolutely beautiful. Look at these beams. Look at all that paint up there. And you get the shadows there from the trees. Leaves just dancing on the pastel there in the breeze. It's amazing. And then you have this light here. So the light is already starting to fade from the trees, but just have a few minutes to capture this before the sun's gone. And it is always extremely difficult for me to capture this building because you have all these posts here. And so it's hard to get a clean shot. It's hard to get the framing right. Maybe I'm trying to crop in a little bit too much, get too much of a tight shot. I don't know, maybe I can get a little bit of the shadows here on the lattice work. And then you got this beautiful light kind of on the front door here. I'm not sure what it is, but you got this beautiful light on the bottom. And I don't know, maybe I can go close up. I'm thinking about using these two kind of cracks there. So lead two lines, getting a little bit of the door in there with the shadows. See how it turns out.
Eat your heart out, saw lighter.
Maybe I can get something from this corner here, back off a little bit, give it some room to breathe. The tough part about shooting in Korea is that everything's so stacked on top of each other, on top of, other things. You have buildings like this, which are right in the middle of residential neighborhoods. You would never know they exist. That one doesn't look half bad. Or they're in the middle of like a business district or something, and you have all this chaos from the city around it. You have these wires, you have posts, fire extinguisher, you got cars, you got trees, garbage cans, you got stray cats walking around the property. So I don't know, it's changed my shooting style, definitely living in Korea. I've kind of come to the conclusion that I have to embrace the chaos and kind of show how things are naturally in their natural environment. Show that this building is kind of in this residential neighborhood, kind of crammed between mid-rise buildings. And I think that can have a very interesting aesthetic, but it's just very hard to pull off. And that, I guess, is going to be a wrap. We're done shooting for the day. We're blessed with some pretty good light up until now. The light is starting to fade. When we came out here, the sky was completely overcast. There were dark clouds, looked like it was going to pour down rain. But I took a chance to come out here, and if you don't take a chance to go shooting, well, you're never going to get those shots. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the shots I got today. Now, obviously, I'm recording this before I got a chance to go home and edit them. And, oh, looks like there goes the sun. The X100, the original, has a back screen that looks kind of like a Game Boy Color, same resolution. So, I'm just not gonna know what they look like before I get home. But that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe for more photo projects like this.